Hi everyone, you're watching our screencast for Assignment 2. In this screencast, we are going to attempt to address the question of how the characteristics of spaces actually influence the media content shown on television in Singapore. We will first start by defining public spaces as social spaces that is open and accessible to all. In our reading, Spiegel has highlighted how television programs for housewives adopt a form of media presentation that requires minimal action and more dialogues. By doing so, it enables them to multitask between housework and leisure. Drawing on the same point, the media content in public spaces actually uses a similar form of media presentation so as to maximize attention division while minimizing the loss of content comprehension. At public spaces such as coffee shops, people usually gather for various activities. Hence, the media content shown on television should be something that can be easily understood. This is to allow one to catch up on the TV content should they miss the first few segments. Therefore, variety shows and local dramas are preferred to other types of media content shown in a coffee shop, especially when people go to the coffee shop to eat or have a chat with friends. Another example of how media content on television is dependent of the public space is the clinic. At times when patients are waiting for their consultation, the media content shown on screen actually keeps them entertained. Therefore, it would be ideal if it can be easily apprehended. In this case, cartoons and variety shows are often shown to entertain kids and adults alike. Perhaps through these forms of entertainment, they can actually forget the pains or ailments that they are actually suffering from. Okay, now let's move on to the next type of spaces that we'll be touching on. According to Greenberg's definition, third spaces refer to spaces within which communities can cohere. The gathering of like-minded people in these third spaces will create a collective identity, which in turn can influence the media content shown in the third spaces. Media content on television in these third spaces are characterized by their common purpose, and people actually go to these spaces intentionally for their specific media content. These third spaces has a role to play, and that is to unite a distinct group of people, constructing a collective identity based on their shared experiences. For instance, football fans often gather at designated locations or bars to support their favorite football team. In the local context, I believe that many of us will be familiar to bars such as Devil's Bar or the Harry's Bar, which cater to Manchester United fans and Liverpool fans respectively. Another example would be how movie fans actually pay exorbitant ticket prices to not only attend special movie screenings, but also to hang around with fellow movie fans as well. In these examples, a collective identity is formed and reinforced when soccer fans cheer and celebrate together upon every goal, or when movie fans don on movie merchandise in support of the shows. From the Greenberg's reading, we can see how the media content shown in these third spaces act as a social leveler in which people from all walks of life can gather together and develop a sense of shared ownership of the place. Thus, this shows that the human aspect is an integral element of media content, and it can influence them in these third spaces. From the Vascalero and Cessno's article, we have seen how the emergence of new media in the early 21st century created a trend such that household media consumption is tending towards individual choices rather of a collective one. In the context of our screencast, this will draw us to the attention of the development of private spaces in which we will be sharing how it can influence media content. As the society becomes more affluent, families are increasingly able to afford more than one television set at home. And because of this phenomenon, media consumption has become more individualized. Because of the increased ownership over various new media, individuals have more control over the media content they want in their own private spaces. In addition, the rise of social media such as YouTube and online streaming have allowed media content to be even more personalized in the private sphere. Having explored how the different characteristics of spaces can influence the media content within these spaces, it is interesting to note how media content can actually be negotiated according to the demands yielded by the demographics and, of course, the type of activities that the space caters to. To conclude, it is worth mentioning that media content is not static, and the spaces that they are shown in can play a part too. That's all for our screencast. Thank you for watching.